Breaking news: U.S.-Colombia relations, U.S.-Venezuelan relations, and Pico cleaning up Parque Lleras. If you're not familiar with my channel, I report the news for Central and South America with a special attention on Medellín, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole. I do these videos for visitors who want to know before they go, as well as for expats who want to see the news in English. Quick heads up: Americans in Colombia applying for a visa now need an FBI background check. Get yours in 24 to 48 hours using OnCall Colombia, oncallcolombia.com. The contact information is here and in the description of all my videos. Okay, guys, I'm just getting back from Vegas. I'm beat, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, but I had an awesome trip. But I have 4 stories for you today, again ending in Pico in his own words, telling you how he's cleaning up Parque Lleras from the gangs. First up, Medellín mayor and U.S. diplomat team up. Medellín Mayor Federico Gutiérrez met with John MacNamara, charge d'affaires of the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, in Antioquia, to reaffirm bilateral cooperation in security, investment, and culture. MacNamara, in his role since February 2025, highlighted U.S. companies' plans to invest in Antioquia for job creation benefiting Colombians. Gutiérrez stressed the unbreakable U.S.-Colombia bond, focusing on combating Young 1's exploitation through joint operations with the FBI and HSI, which have secured convictions like life sentences. Discussions covered advancing security measures, economic investments for employment, and strengthening cultural exchanges. Both leaders shared the meeting's details on social media, with Gutiérrez stating, "We will continue working together, thinking about the future." This encounter underscores ongoing efforts to enhance ties between Medellín and the U.S. for mutual prosperity and safety. Maduro's rage: U.S. war jets buzz Venezuelan shores. Invasion or gird war cover. Venezuela's government under Nicolás Maduro denounced an incursion by over 5 U.S. combat aircraft near its coast, detected by national defense systems and confirmed by commercial pilots at Barreto Airport. Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez accused the U.S. of provocation amid an anti-narcotrafficking operation deploying F-35 jets, warships, a nuclear submarine, and 4,500 troops, which sank gird boats, deleting 17. Maduro called it an asedio threat, mobilizing the Bolivarian militia and conducting exercises on La Orchilla Island on September 20th with 2,500 troops. He declared a state of exterior commotion, granting special powers and potential suspension of guarantees. Padrino noted increased U.S. flights since August, rejecting links to Cartel de los Soles. Maduro advanced Christmas celebrations to October, decorating public spaces, including prisons. Venezuela affirmed vigilance without intimidation. Petro's fury: expels Israel diplomats and dumps trade deal after Gaza aid boat seized. On October 1st, 2025, Colombian President Gustavo Petro ordered the immediate expulsion of Israel's diplomatic delegation from Bogota in response to the interception of the global flotilla Sumud, carrying humanitarian aid to Gaza via non-official channels. The Israeli Navy detained the vessel, including 2 Colombian citizens, Manuela Bedoya and Luna Barreto, for entering a combat zone and violating a legal naval blockade, redirecting aid to Ashdod port. Petro accused Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of international crimes, breaching international law in the Geneva Conventions, escalating from Colombia's prior severance of ties on May 1st, 2024. He announced the denunciation of the free trade agreement with Israel, called for global legal action against the authorities, and bolstered presidential security with the Guardia Presidencial. President Petro also criticized U.S. withholding of arms to Colombia and reaffirmed commitments against narco-trafficking. This move intensifies Colombia's stance against Israel's Gaza policy amid ongoing regional tensions. Okay, and this last one right here, again, this is just a short one, but I'm going to allow you to hear Pico in his words in English at the end. Mafias unmasked. Global gangs rule Medellín's hotspots, Lleras Parque. On September 30th, 2025, during a Security Council meeting, Medellín Mayor Federico Gutiérrez exposed international mafias from Asia, Balkans, Italy, Central America, and Mexico controlling Parque Lleras. Involved in arms trafficking, GERDs, human smuggling, and minor exploitation, surpassing local gangs like La Traza and Robledo. He vowed eradication and pursuit of alias El Holandés. Operations with Fiscalía Police, Army, and Intelligence captured and extradited alias El Mexicano to Mexico for trafficking, closed illicit sites, and initiated asset forfeitures. U.S. FBI and HSI collaboration secured life sentences. Example, Estefan Correa for young one abuse. Gutiérrez urged no arms to exploit Embrera Catio young ones, calling for ICBF protection to break the cycles. So there you go. The mayor ain't playing. Okay, so there you go. There's the mayor of Medellín, Colombia, Mayor Federico Gutiérrez. Let me now allow you to hear what he has to say in English and meet me on the other side for comment.
We have been carrying out important operations with the police, the army, and the prosecutor's office that have produced some results, but it's not enough. The scale of what is happening there is greater than anyone imagined and what has been uncovered so far. It's very important to clarify that it's not only Colombian mafias operating there, there are criminal organizations as well. From the criminal structures of Valle de la Bura, which already have a presence there, as has been shown with La Terraza and Robledo. And that's what we found at Parque Lleras last January when we started. There was neither God nor law. We began to restore order. There have been arrests and investigations are progressing to identify those responsible for the sexual exploitation of children and adolescents, as well as other forms of child exploitation. Regarding the exploitation of children for begging, such as the arrests made last week, and how children from the Embera Cativo community were being exploited, there have been closures of establishments. Investigations are also underway for asset forfeiture, and the arrest of alias El Mexicano, one of the main orchestrators of human trafficking there, has already taken place. He was extradited to Mexico. There have also been other arrests of establishment owners in connection with these issues. Who is known as the Dutchman? Once and for all, these people responsible must be brought to justice. Who is known as the Dutchman? And we are going after them. And here we have identified that there are Asian mafias, Balkan mafias, Italian mafias, and mafias from Central American countries and Mexico. This has escalated to another level. Weapons, drugs, human trafficking, sexual exploitation of children and adolescents. And we are going to put an end once and for all to those mafias that are causing so much harm. That is the task I have also assigned to the police, the army, and we have asked the prosecutor's office to move forward with those investigations. And in the same way, we will continue to reveal more. And until we have them behind bars, that asset forfeiture is applied to them, and that it is made clear once and for all that we have the support of national institutions such as the police, the army, and the prosecutor's office of Interpol, and also of US institutions like the FBI and HSI, which are already involved in the investigations. We're going all in. We need the collaboration of the people. We need people to report these crimes. I also ask a favor of our people, those who pass through the area and have nothing to do with this. Giving alms to a child in that area, who are also being exploited by these criminal organizations, is condemning those children. Do not give them alms. We also need the intervention of child welfare services. There should not be any children there. We need decisive action. There should not be any children in that area. We have struck blows, done everything, but we see how they come back and exploit them again. This hurts us deeply. So at every level, we are going to confront and attack these criminal organizations.
Okay, so there you go. You tell me what you think in the comments section. I'm going to tell you, I'm thinking that the U.S. is in favor of Gutiérrez and not in favor of Petro. So if Gutiérrez wants to run for the president, I got a good feeling he will, and I have a good feeling that the United States will back him over Petro. I don't see them supporting Petro. They don't like Petro, obviously, and Petro is kicking back. And hopefully he'll at least make it another year. I mean, I hope Petro, this is their government, so I'm not getting involved in all that stuff. When somebody should leave or should not come, that's on them and Colombians to actually vote. But it looks like from the outside looking in that the Americans have a relationship with Fico and they do not with Petro. So therefore, there will be more support for Fico, especially if he decides to run for president because the U.S. doesn't want him as president. And on Venezuela, I believe, of course, the same. It's regime change. We're trying to put somebody new in charge. We want Maduro gone. We want the oil. We want the resources. We want the gold. We want all that stuff. And we're going to go in. And on all of these side stories and all this mess, unfortunately, I think some of it is distraction. The more someone can look over here, Venezuela, look over here, Colombia, look over here, Israel, look at Gaza, all this stuff going on, and you're not seeing who's got their hand in your pocket. Just saying. That's just my personal 2 cents. Again, the stories, I do the best I can to make sure they are as accurate as possible or are accurate. But when you hear a comment from me after the story, that's me. That's just my opinion, just like any other YouTube channel. It's the opinion of the channel host. So, and my understandings and thoughts come from reading a lot of stories on what's going on down there and just putting 2 and 2 together and not trusting certain people and what they tell me. Anyway, you're up to date with the latest news out of Medellín, Colombia, and Colombia as a whole, U.S.-Venezuela relations, U.S.-Colombia relations. You're up to date. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to travel, but travel safe.
Thanks for the 18 like. Thanks for the 18 like. This is Born Rob.
So, hey, girl, thanks for coming by my place.
No worries. You mind if our girlfriend can come by with us?
Hell no. This is why I watch DC Rob. Headed to Medellín, Colombia? See my guy Andres with Nomad Travel for safe airport pickups and drop-offs and tours. Contact information in the description below.